There is one exercise that with just one simple technique switch, you can go all the way from targeting your chest to targeting your back, and I can almost guarantee you that those who are performing this exercise most of the time don't have any clue if they're performing it correctly. And as you've probably seen, it's going to be the dumbbell pullover. First of all, I do have to apologize for this poor setup. Gyms are still closed and I don't really have any money to buy equipment at the moment. So yeah, that's how it's going to be. Now this is a great isolation exercise for your chest or lats, but what exactly makes the distinction? For this we're going to have to look a bit at anatomy. But first I do recommend that you stick around, because this technique switch is not the only thing that you're going to want to fix. Now when it comes to anatomy, we know that the pectoralis major is connected to our arm and basically consists of two main heads, the sternal and the clavicular head. If we lift our arm up, we use our clavicular head, but to extend our arm back to the previous position, we use our sternal head. And this is what's called shoulder extension. So this exercise allows us to target mostly the lower and the middle part of your chest. But how exactly can we also target our lats when performing this exercise? Because, well, it's basically a completely different muscle. Well, the latissimus dorsi also connects to your arm and basically also helps to extend our shoulder. So in short, it's almost the same exact movement. But there is also another function, which is shoulder adduction. But this is also true for our chest muscles. But when your arms are more in front of you, you're going to have to use more chest as opposed to when your arms are more at the back of you. I know it's a little bit complicated, but it's very important for the next step, so that's why I'm going to quickly repeat it. Both muscles allow for shoulder extension and adduction, but the more forward your arm, the more chest, and the more backward, the more lats. So when we flare our elbows inwards with straight arms during this exercise, we're going to use more chest, since this is also more shoulder extension, but when we rotate those elbows outwards, this will cause more back activation, since our elbows are brought more to the back of our body. And this will basically allow for a bit more shoulder adduction to the back, and keep in mind that these muscles only attach to the bone of the upper arm, so that's why elbow position is key here. So if we want to target our chest more, we have to flare our elbows inwards, and the opposite is true if you want to target your lats. But you might still not feel your chest when doing this, and that's because this technique switch is not the only mistake that people make. The problem is that most of us see this as an exercise where you're able to lift a lot of weight, and while this is partially true, if it's your first time performing this exercise, you really want to focus on the feel that it gives to your chest. Really feel that stretch and that squeeze. Also, don't bend your elbows excessively and then extend them, because if you do this will make your triceps take over, and that's not really what we want to target with this exercise. Of course, a slight bend is still expected, but keep it at a slight bend. Now, if you still can't feel your chest, you want to learn how to squeeze it correctly. For example, near the top, you want to sort of push the dumbbell together for a stronger contraction. And that's because one of the functions of the pectoralis major was shoulder adduction. But this also means bringing your arms towards the middle of your chest. Doing this will allow us to really feel and isolate our chest and focus on that mind-muscle connection. So to do this, you want to start off with light weight so you can really get used to that feeling. Now, some other common mistakes are not retracting and depressing your shoulder blades, but this is almost always something you want to keep in mind when you're doing a chest exercise. This is meant to put your shoulders in a more stable and safe position, allowing you to lift more weight and stay injury-free. So retract and depress your shoulder blades both when you're trying to target your lats and your chest. Now, when you're going down, you want to go back as far as you comfortably can and then bring it back up. This may vary from person to person, so make sure that you're comfortable enough with the range of motion. Another big mistake that a lot of people make is taking off the tension at the top of the movement by moving the dumbbell too far. As soon as you surpass that 90-degree angle, you're going to target different muscles. And this includes everything you need to know for this exercise, so smash that like button if you enjoyed it, and make sure to share it to a friend so they are able to get those sweet chest gains. Also, smash that subscribe button for more helpful tips, and I'll see you guys later.